Hi, Sheena here with This You Wed. Just wanted to jump on and talk to you a little bit about something that's on everybody's minds at this point, and it's coronavirus. So, if you are planning a wedding, this is obviously paramount on top of mind for several of you in terms of should we postpone, should we cancel, should we, continue forward as is. And that's a decision that you've got to make as a family and come together and decide what is best for you. And so we just want to give you some things to think about so that you can make that decision. The first thing is that if your wedding is in the month of March or April, what you really want to be thinking about is there a lot of people that are elderly that are coming to my wedding? And then the other piece of it is there a lot of people that will be traveling to come to my wedding? And with those two questions, what you want to be thinking about is if you can continue forward without them, right? So if there are elderly guests that are planning on, that you have that are on your guest list, but if they opt to not come to the wedding, are you going to be okay with that? And if so, then you can continue forward as planned. And two is if you've got a lot of out of town guests that you can do the wedding without, or they can watch it via live stream or the video after the event, then great. And if not, then you have to be thinking about postponing your wedding date. So the essence of it is that there are a lot of travel bans that are being put into effect already into the U.S. Anybody that's got a visa can't get in from several of the European countries. We know that India has got the travel ban going into India, so I presume that there will be one, in the US for several states or several countries, and India may be one of them. So the thing that you want to be thinking about is if that is an absolute, like, I have to have these people at my wedding, I can't do it without them, then we need to be thinking about postponing. If you can do it without them and you're comfortable with them watching the live stream or the video post the wedding, then you can continue to think about going forward. So once those decisions have been made, then there's been a lot of conversation about 250 guests as being sort of this critical mass number. Don't try to cut your guest list just to get to 250. It's a number that they're saying in terms of just being able to contain and sort of manage, and those things is really where that number has to be coming from. But understand that if one person is carrying it, it could be a party of two and still not be worth it. So all we can do in terms of understanding this is make a decision based on getting this information out there, and do it based on what your families are comfortable with. So the truth of the matter is that if you decide to go forward with the wedding, the hotels and all these venues that we've talked to are doing their part in terms of sanitization, disinfecting, cleaning, making sure that things are at twice the levels that they were prior to. And so just making sure that everything is coming together in a manner that they are doing their part, right? So at this point, it's really about the guests doing their part. So everybody's heard all the things from the CDC in terms of washing hands, keeping distances, making sure that you're not sharing plates. I mean, all these things that have come out in terms of just, trying to keep yourself at a safe distance away from other people. So do your part in terms of that, making sure that guests know where the restrooms are so they can get to soap and water, so they can wash their hands more often, making sure that there's hand sanitizer available. Those kinds of things are definitely going to help, and it's going to make things a little bit safer for each of the guests that are coming to the wedding. But that's all we can do in terms of in a scenario like this where it's unprecedented. So, we are really trying to do what you can. So, the last bit of this is that there's been a lot of conversation around the force majeure clause that's in most of the venue contracts. The thing that we want you to understand about that is It's what's considered an impossibility clause. And what that basically means is that if it is impossible for the hotel to do their job and the service that they've uh, contracted to provide you, then they have the ability to cancel your event, or you have the ability to cancel the event and be refunded. The thing that I want you to understand is that that clause is not in effect as of yet. If the government, whether that's national, state, or city, puts a shutdown on the city and says that a curfew is in effect, we can't, nobody can leave their homes, etc. If something like that goes into effect, then that clause does apply. But as of right now, none of that applies. And so what you want to be able to do is have open dialogue with your catering manager or your sales rep, so that this conversation can be had. Everybody I've talked to is wanting to do the right thing, wanting to help you out. So, feel like you can go and talk to them and make the best decision for you. But be prepared to make decisions quickly, right? So you're not the only one looking at these dates. There are other people that are wanting to possibly move their dates as well. And so with that, understand that there are going to be some limitations on dates available. So if you guys have any other questions, we're obviously here for you. Reach out to us at contact@theyseeweds.com. We know that there's a lot of questions, things that we can help you with, or things that we'd like to help you with. So whatever it is that we can, we are absolutely available for it. But at the end of the day, we just want you to be safe and, and do what you can to help eliminate this. Thanks.